Haven't done a walk around in a while, and this is my new house. It's 1.3 miles from the old place. This is a lean-to little shed I built so the engines can sit in there. They're gonna go in there until over in this area will be a roundhouse and a little turntable, and the engine will live in there eventually, and this will become the car barn. There's some ties piled up waiting to go. The 2 tracks come out. This is my front yard. Critter's getting a whole new makeover. This railroad's all 3% grade, and I'm thinking the Critter's a little weak as electric. I think I'm going back to gas. I got 11 horsepower, brand new engine for it, and a 5-speed peerless transmission and a electric clutch. So I'm gonna get that all hooked up. Some of my old cars. These are 3 3/4 inch scale cars, and I went to 5-inch scale, and so I don't really use those. I'm building all new wood cars. Here's some of my old rail left over from the old Quail Valley live steamers, and this spur right here for now is actually the main line that leads out and connects to the bridge. But come down here is Raven Junction. Switches all in. I just recently moved this curve over. It was a little sharp and a little funky, so I ended up cut the bushes back and moved everything over a little, reworking that. Here's my ballast. I get 24 tons of rock at a time. This is 3/4 crush. I use that for like a sub-row bed. And then over here is the 1/2-inch crush. I haven't been using that for the regular top ballasting. Either one works really. If you I used to just use 3/4 only. Leona, it's Spanish for the female lion. We got a mountain lion that lives on the property here. Huge paw prints, way bigger than my dog's. So coming out here into the bushes, and all the quail live in here, and there's about 300 quail living around here. And then this is a curve that I just moved over. It was a little sharp through here, so you can see the old road bed on the right and the new over here. And I pushed it out all the way to my edge of my property by the road. But all this part from the car barn over to here is ballasted. Of course, that's the spur to the car barn, but it's actually 500 feet of track that's ballasted now, and the ballast ends pretty much right here at this rake, or what's left of a rake. Anyway, still got to come through here. I just got this bolted up today. I moved the switch. I decided that because that was too sharp, my lone pine branch was going to be too sharp. So here's the new. I moved the switch down, turned it around, and cut that in today. Got it all bolted up. And then this will be a spur that'll be like a ramp track or a loading track. It might go into a little building that has a motorcycle lift in there, and then you just drive the train onto that, and it lifts up and goes on the trailer in your truck or whatever you want to load. And coming up here, right before the tank here, on the same side as the tank, is going to be the little Quail Valley depot, and kind of looks out into the valley there. It's got a nice little view from the depot, looking down Sand Canyon and Quail Valley. But so water tank's fake. There's no water going to go in it. It's going to have a little pipe under there and a ball valve, and you'll get water from it, but there won't be no freezing water and trying to hold 900 pounds of water in a damn thing. So come around here. This is all getting lifted. It's going to kind of be on a berm. There's a bunch of drainage got to come through here, so I'm going to cut this little bridge in. This is an old bridge from the Glee Club too. I don't know. It's got to be 80 years old, or who knows. Anyway, it's all steel. Real rivets. A little drainage here, and then come through the trees. Yeah, gotta have to keep the Quail Valley spirit going through the juniper trees. Come through the driveway. This is pretty much going to get asphalt, so I got the plastic ties in here, and gonna wind up asphalt up to it, and it'll be kind of wood over there. And then coming out here, it goes out onto the bridge. It's 130 feet long. It's only about 3.5 feet tall in the middle. I have these supports on the outside because I'll be putting walkways on both sides. My wife likes to have the walkways in there in case you need to get off the train and walk back or whatever. But this is Cache Creek. The real Cache Creek comes from way back there. In the background, that peak back there is Cache Peak, and that's where Cache Creek comes from. This isn't really Cache Creek, but it's my little Cache Creek because it's a dry creek that flows only when it's really raining. The bridge still needs all its cross members on each bent, and then each bent tied into each other too with the long cross members. And this is like the little dry creek crossing right there. And then if you come all the way to the end of here, this is I got 895 feet. 500 is ballasted, but the other 395 feet is not ballasted, and the bridge is not ready. The bridge is exactly 3% grade, as is the rest of the railroad. Once you go past the bridge, this red painted board here, this is the end of the bridge. It finally hits land again. Right here it starts to be like 18% grade. So I need to rent a tractor, and I'm gonna start a cut right here. This will be a cut. You'll be going into the cut, and then somewhere up in here, I'll take all the dirt from the cut and I'll pile on each side of the track. And then right about here, I'm gonna have a short tunnel. It's probably gonna be about, I don't know, 15 feet long, maybe 20 feet at the most. Little short tunnel, so when it's hot days and sunny, we can pull the train in there and everybody can get in the shade a little bit and park in there for a minute and cool off. You know, because the train's air conditioned. Anyway, you keep going around. We're at 4,400 feet elevation, and I got 2.5 acres here I'm walking around, in case you're wondering why I'm out of breath. I've been going on 3% grade for a while here. Anyway, but we're coming downhill. All through here needs to be graded. It's about 300 feet that all needs grading to actually connect down here to the other end of the spur at Raven Junction. So I don't own a tractor, and I don't want to own a tractor, but I just rent one. It's like 300 bucks for the weekend, or 8 hours on the clock or whatever. I only need about 3 or 4 hours. I'll slam this thing out. Anyway, once it's graded, it's 315 feet of track to go in to complete the loop. I'm good for about 175 feet of track a day by myself. This is Bingham right here. I'm gonna have a little 3-track yard right here. And then my neighbor, he kind of digs on the train, and he's building this little western town on the front of his chicken coop. And he said, man, it would be cool if the train came over by the little town I'm making. And I said, oh yeah, it would. So I think there's gonna be a spur that cuts off at Bingham and actually goes through the next door neighbor's fence and a spur to his house. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, you keep coming down here back to Raven Junction at the spur. Like I said, 315 feet of track to go to complete this thing. And it's gonna be pretty nice when it gets done. You can look around, you can see over to the water tank there, the track coming around. All the neighbors are on their own 2 acres, so they're right there, but they're kind of far away enough. And everybody seems to like the train. Good thing, huh? And here's my old ballast hopper that it's hard to shut the door on it, and when that sucker derails with 500 pounds of ballast in there, you don't want to be near it. It's much easier to handle the stuff with the buckets. I can throw it right where I need it, tamp it in, I'm gone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and happy steaming.